Hey everybody, welcome to the Vault where the music still matters. Now, uh, this is our first show with our new format that we're doing and trying out here for local music and all that kind of stuff. Before we get too far into that, of course, I'm your host, Robbie D. We do have Jessamine Orchard in the house as well. What's up, Jessamine?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Coming to you live
Hey.
from my new studio. I'll probably give you guys a tour at some point, but it's still kind of a work in progress. But here's a keyboard. So you know it's a studio against a blank wall. So I have a keyboard here. MIDI controller here. Fancy. Hey.
Well, now you know. Now you know, guys. And she is in the studio. Also in the house tonight, of course, we do have Anthony Gordon. What's up, Anthony?
What's up? What's up? Coming here from my apartment.
Casa
Right on.
Daytone.
There it is.
Mhm.
There it is. All right, guys. And like I said, tonight is our first show with our new format. And what that format is going to be is we're all going to have, our own little segments where we talk about what we want. Of course, we're going to have a local music section where we talk about all the upcoming shows, things like that. That way, we can keep you all informed with everything that's going on in your area because, like I said, Vault where music still matters, and so that's our main goal is to take these local artists and get out here and interview some of them, put some shows on, and have a great time doing it. Now, tonight we are going to start off our show with Jessamine. She's going to do her first segment here tonight. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and hand it over to her. And here's Jessamine.
What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do kind of before. This is something that last week Robbie kind of walked through the new format with you guys. He and Tone kind of went through a basic kind of the way we're going to roll with this. I am going to move my shameless plugging of my music stuff to my segment, so you guys will hear a limited amount of that. I will try really hard to rein that in. So that being said, I will be brief in this regard, but I do have some shows coming up that I'm pretty stoked about. May 28th, I'm playing at Moon City Pub. I'm opening for the Theorists and the Magic Johnson, and that's going to be a really outstanding show. If you guys haven't heard of or listened to the Theorists, they're a really awesome local band. There is a guitarist and a bass player who also plays the bassoon, and it's a really interesting fusion of instruments that you've probably never heard before. I'll be sharing some of their music to the Vaults page in the next couple of days. That's on May 28th. And then we'll be touching on this a little bit more later on tonight as well in our weekend spotlight as far as shows going on in the area. But on May 31st, I will be opening up for the benefit show for Jacob Conti, who suffered a C4 spinal cord injury earlier this week. And the show's being put together by Donnie Cockrum with Indie Mo Records, and basically they're kind of, they're putting together friends, fellow musicians. We're really calling people out and wanting people to come to the show. Bring your money. Jacob is going to need a lot of help with those hospital bills and therapy and recovery and stuff like that. It's a long road if you guys know anybody who's been affected by that. So come out. Even if all you have is rural quarters, I mean, bring that out and donate it to this awesome cause. Jake's a really super awesome, fantastic guy, and this really sucks that he's having to go through this. So as much money as we can raise for him, the better, obviously. So we'll be talking about that more between now and then on the Vault Facebook page for sure. I've already shared the event and the poster, I do believe, but look for more of that as well. Also, I do have some gigs coming up in the next couple of months at Hotel Vandevort downtown Springfield. I will be playing some happy hours and some social hours that they've got going on. I say pretty. I'm incredibly stoked about those gigs. I'm super pumped on it. And also, I will be playing some Friday night dinners at Houlihan's, Southside Springfield as well. So if you're coming out having dinner, I will be serenading you with some of my originals and some covers as well, so that'll be fun. But done with my shameless promotion, and really, Robbie, are we still okay on time? Do I have a minute to babble?
You're at like 2.5, man. You are
Oh,
good to
sweet,
go.
awesome. Okay,
Babble it
fantastic.
up.
I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with a band on a level that I've not been obsessed with a band in a really long time, and that band is Modern Baseball. They just had an album come out this past, well, I don't think it's last Friday, but the Friday before. It's called Holy Ghost, and holy crap, this album has blown my mind, and I keep posting about it. I post about it a million times. This album makes me feel like I'm 21 years old again. 21. And in both the positive and the negative sense. I mean, I was incredibly an emo kid at age 21, and this music really harkens back to that time and those feelings without feeling like it's trying to do that, if that makes sense. I feel like there are bands that are like,
Yeah.
we're trying to sound like this band and this era. Modern Baseball, they're doing their own thing, but it just has that same grit and honesty that I remember feeling the first time I listened to Dashboard Confessional. I mean, that same feeling of just gritty, dirty, raw, emotional journey that an album can take you on. And there's a documentary that I shared the Vaults page a while back that kind of went through exactly Robbie. Robbie's giving me whiny, cryy. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling you out, bro. He's behind the scenes giving me cry about it. I totally own it. But honestly, this album was written from an incredibly emotional place. The band has two songwriters, and they basically split the album halfway down the middle. I think it's an 11 or 12 track album, and I think it's 12 tracks. First 6 are written by one guy, second 6 written by the other guy, and they both were going through some real serious emotional life stuff during this process, and that documentary really outlines that. I know that Tone has watched it for sure, because I basically said, we're going to watch this at the shop, and we've watched it I think a couple of times, just and that whole journey of just what was going on there. That album is blowing my mind. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Holy Ghost by Modern Baseball, we will be reviewing that one in the upcoming couple of weeks. I'm sure that's one that I've been talking about for a couple of months now. So I think Robbie's going to let me get one in onto the review list with this one. He's going to let an emo album sneak in. That's actually because he wants to listen to it. Just throwing that out there. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is. I've never heard them. I have heard them. I guess you sent me a couple of links to some of their songs, but like I said, we will add it to the review list. That way, we can all hear it and see what all of our opinions on it are, because that's where the good time lays, where we disagree or agree on all of it, So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Like I said, we will be reviewing that. The next part of the show here, we are going to pass it off to Anthony Gordon. It is his segment here. So here you go, Anthony.
What's up? I didn't really have a whole bunch of stuff prepared, but I thought what better way to spend 5 minutes with the resident metal guys just to tell you how I've got to how I became this person, I guess, musically. I guess it all started off, I honestly don't know if it's 100% true. My mom's told me this story probably, I don't know, over 100 times, that whenever she was, I don't know how proud of it she should be. I mean, I don't know what she was doing back then, but she was 7 months pregnant with me whenever she was at a Led Zeppelin concert. So I think that's kind of what pushed me in the direction of where I'm at now, other than just evolution, because music always is evolving. There's always something new bands and all sorts of stuff. So once I started in there, I just kind of, I don't know, my brother showed me a lot of music is where I started off on. I think my first real actual metal album that I went out and bought myself, that I had heard before that I couldn't never buy because I didn't have any money or whatever it may be, was Deftones' first album, Adrenaline. That was the first. I listened to that first before anything else. So I listened to that, and then I started going towards listening to Korn and all that type of stuff, all of that, the Stained, the Godsmack.
How old are you at this point? Sorry to interject.
No, you're fine. Probably, I don't know, anywhere from maybe 13 to 15 area maybe.
Okay, cool.
I think and then it spawned other stuff, like listening to Deftones, and spawned Incubus, and then I was on that band forever. I would just usually, that's how I usually do, is I'll find the one band, listen to their album, and then just go through everything that they've made. I don't know why. Sometimes it's backwards. It could be their newest album, and then I have to go back to the beginning and listen to their like the first 3 albums they put out, but that's pretty much how it went for me. Is I was going through Incubus, and I think it spread to what was it? After a while, it did. I think it was something. What was that band? I can't remember the name of the band. I'm not really sure where it went, but there was a long period of time there I didn't really listen to any metal before. I was always listening to like 90s gangster rap, like Tupac and Snoop, all that stuff. That's all I listened to forever because that's what my brother listened to. So I didn't really start listening to music like going out and searching for it myself until I got a little bit older, just because I was always listening to what my brother was, telling me about, which was, like Deftones. He was the first person to tell me about Thrice.
Wow.
Which that's my favorite band, but his favorite band is the Deftones. So we kind of have like he likes that band. It's his favorite band type of thing. But that's where it all started, was him. Until I got older, I started, seeking out stuff myself. Listening to, Tribe Called Quest, old stuff. I'm trying to think, Nas, old Nas, all that type of stuff for a long time. And then it pretty much just went back to metal. It was Pantera, all the old school Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden. That's still one of my favorite bands, just because it's Bruce Dickinson, the vocalist. Come on, there's nobody else better than that. Well, in that type of music, in my opinion, and Iron Maiden, but just all sorts of stuff. And then, I started getting into bands. I listened to Thrice. I remember I was sitting in English class. I think that this was in 8th grade. Whenever I was listening to like a lot of like Korn and stuff, and one of my friends passed me a CD, and it was AFI, and it was Black Sails was that album. Once I got on that, I went crazy with that. It spawned Thursday. That's one of my most memorable things ever, because I was in that same class, and this girl handed me a CD with it, and it was a burnt CD, and it just said Thursday on it. And it was the very first one. What's the name of that album? I know you know, Jess.
Is it full collapse?
No, 4 Stories Falling.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 5 Stories Falling.
5 Stories Falling,
yeah.
Yes. That one.
Awesome.
And that just spawned, like, I forgot about everything else, and that spawned, like, listening to Hope's Fall and all that type of, like, Norma Jean and Zayo.
Yes.
That's where all that stuff came from. And then how much time do I got left, buddy?
You're out of time, brother.
Really?
You're good.
It's been that long already?
Yeah, man, for sure. We didn't actually get to do an interview with you, so this has been awesome. Like,
yeah, for real.
For sure. So, finish anything you were saying there, man. For sure. We're not gonna like run over. We're not gonna get kicked out.
No, it's totally cool. You pretty much know where it led to now. I don't know. Like when MySpace was a great thing for. MySpace, but it was great for finding new bands and stuff coming out, because there was tons of people, including myself, putting. I'm just some local Springfield, Missouri band. Someone in Virginia could listen to me and be like, holy crap, So that was a huge thing. Like a lot of the bands I listen to now are, I found them on MySpace when they were like just playing, gigs with like the only other people there was the other band's girlfriends. And now they're like huge bands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
When they're like 18, but now they're like close to my age, like almost 30 something, and they're like huge, like a day to remember before they were what they are now, like before they were like almost nothing, like style stuff. So that the new technology and social media and stuff has really helped find all sorts of new music, and now that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
pretty much.
Like I said, we'll go ahead and wrap that up. Tonight we will get back to with Anthony next week. I'm sure he's got lots more to tell us about his musical influence, that's for sure. He's been in multiple bands, multiple different styles, so very musical inclined guy. So this moves on to my segment tonight, and what I want to focus on are a couple of different, first off, 2 rappers. One of them is going to be Asiante, is his name. He's from Rhode Island, lives down in Florida too, I guess. Kid's 18 years old. an amazing lyricist. I mean, coming from 18, his songs sound like I don't want to compare him to Atmosphere, but like Slug, he's seasoned. But he writes about this like real sad, heartbreaking kind of stuff, and this kid's kind of writing like that, and it's like, man, I mean, that to me that's awesome because it's like I said, he's
Yeah.
18 and he hasn't been through all this. Maybe he has. Like I said, he's 18. Who knows? But it's awesome to hear actual hip hop come from somebody that young over there on the East Coast. Because as you guys know, West Coast is my flavor. That's in my opinion that's where a lot of great MCs spawn from. And uh, there's a handful on the East Coast I like, but this kid is awesome. You can find him on Facebook / official Asiante. That's ASSAIANTE. So definitely look him up. He's got a song on here called Cigarettes, which you can look up on his Bandcamp as well. So definitely check him out. Now, the second guy I want to talk about is a 22-year-old dude from Fall River, Massachusetts. He goes by T Rads, T.RADS. T Rads.
I love him. I love him. I love him. Love him. I listen to everything. You send me that link. Oh.
Well, you got one fan there, homie, for sure, right? That's not what I was expecting, but hey, that's awesome, man. Like I said, the video he's got on his Facebook right now that he just released is called "Too Smart for That." It's dopeness, man. This kid's clever. This song is super meaningful. I mean, he's grinding, man. And like I said, being 22, these kids coming out nowadays are young. I call them kids because I'm like 30. I've been rapping since I was like 14 or 15, but like, it's nothing I really pursued. And again, I mean, they have the internet, man. They make all these videos, and it's awesome. I'm glad that I have exposure to at least check them out. And like I said, you can check T-Rads out at facebook.com /TRadsOfficial. That's TRADSOFFICIAL. So make sure you check him out as well. Now, onto a different side. Like you guys know, hip hop is my thing, but I have recently found this group from Kansas City. Now, I'm not sure if that's Missouri or Kansas, but either way, it's right there, not too far from us. They're called Run With It. They're kind of like a pop, rock, funk, southern feel to it to me. I mean, it's really cool, great music, and like I said, they're from Kansas City. They're actually in the studio right now, and you guys. If you watch the Vault page, you might have noticed I have shared some of their live broadcasts from the studio. They've done the drums and the bass, I think, are the two that I've shared. But really cool stuff, man. They're really cool guys as well. And like I said, we're all about local music in every area, so not just here as well as your hometown. So these guys are from Kansas City, so keep an eye on them. Their name is Run With It. You can check them out at runwithitband.com or on their Facebook /runwithitband. So like I said, make sure you check them out. Now, on to something I am extremely excited about. I'm from this small town, Marionville, Missouri. I graduated with I don't even know, 40 people most, it seems like. But who knows? Anyway, small town. There's this band out here called Better Than Nothing. It's Jake Stringer, Adam Clark, and Zach Morning, and then they do have a drummer as well, of course. His name is Austin. Now, the first three I mentioned, they're all from my hometown. They are first off playing a benefit show tomorrow night at the Ballroom, the Outland Ballroom downtown in Springfield, Missouri. This is a benefit for Travis Garrison. It is to help out with his hospital bills. It's another local accident that has happened. Was a motorcycle wreck, from what I've heard. So this is to benefit him to help with his hospital bills. So again, that's Better Than Nothing. There are some other bands playing as well. So check them out as well as this band. I mean, they are, like I say, if you like old school country, Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, this is the kind of country you're going to enjoy. So check them out. Now, the reason I brought up they're from my hometown is on June 11th, there's this little tiny bar here in town called Lou's, is what it's called now. They are going to be playing live there. They're going to be playing a pretty long set from what I understand. And more to come. Now this show is going to be packed. It's going to be crazy. I mean, there's in the nicest way possible. Some rednecks from where I'm from. They're all going to be packed and typed inside this tiny hot bar where you can smoke inside of it. It's like You walk in this place, it's a cloud of smoke. It's going to be packed. The show is going to be awesome. I'm going to do my best to live broadcast it if I have signal. I have signal outside the bar, but inside the bar, who knows? You know, I may or may not. So hopefully I can live broadcast that for you. So they're definitely another one you can check out. It's Better Than Nothing. You can check them out on Facebook as well. Now that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to speak about tonight. Like I said, Asiante, you want to check him out for sure. T-Rads, again, do not sleep on this kid. Like Jessamine said, if she's pumped about it, I mean, she knows good lyrics and good words when she hears them. This kid obviously has something to do. So make sure you check those guys out as well with Run With It. And don't forget this Better Than Nothing show. I'll be talking about them again because they do have more shows coming up in the near future. These are just the two closest to us. So with that being said, the next part of our show that we're going to move on to tonight is going to be our local music weekend. So with this, I'm going to pass it over to Jessamine. She's here on the street with some of these bands, so we are going to go ahead and hand it over to her, let her tell you what all local is going on here in Springfield.
Sweet. Well, I will say this was a pretty big week as far as Springfield music announcements, both on the plus and I guess a bit on the sad side as well. We already mentioned the accident that Jacob Conti had as far as from the band Ram, and that he's in the hospital. He had that spinal cord injury, and he's dealing with that. That's going to be a road to recovery there. So that was super awful to hear about this week. On the flip side, we had some really awesome news in the local music scene. First of all, let's see, which one do I want to talk about first? I guess the first big one is Fishbone is coming to Springfield, which if you have listened to The Vault and you've listened to our past few episodes, at least since I've been involved, Rob Bailey and I had an outstanding conversation about the evolution of ska, and we took it from its roots in Jamaica and we carried it all the way up through now, and then kind of some, Rob waxed poetic a bit on what he thought the future of ska was going to be. When we were talking about third wave ska, we talked about the band Fishbone. Fishbone is coming to play at the Outland Ballroom, and Rob Bailey and the Springfield Famous get to open for him. That's awesome. That's super, super, super awesome. Rob's he's about to move away. He's about to move out of state. So this is a super, super cool thing to happen here in town before he gets married and moves off and goes and finds other Springfields to make of the ska musics at. But that's a super big deal. And the last really big announcement of the week is that legendary, I say not just Springfield band, but Ozarks band, Big Smith, who they retired a few years ago. Big Smith actually announced this week that they are doing a reunion show. It's not a tour. They are not getting back together to do this down the road from what it seems from Facebook and various, other sources. It looks like one show. That show is going to be in conjunction with the 50th anniversary celebration of the Galois Theater in Springfield, which is super awesome as well. So New Year's Eve will be a special night at the Galois with Big Smith. So that's something that if you are a Big Smith fan, if you remember Big Smith playing from days gone by, which I know I do, I love that band, this would be a really neat opportunity to see them, of course, in a historic and incredible venue. There's not a bad seat in the Galois. It'll be a fun night there. Super cool opportunity. Now, this weekend, there's some fun stuff going on as far as shows are concerned. On Friday night, there are a few things that I wanted to kind of point out. Robbie touched on one earlier. There is a benefit show for Travis Garrison, and Robbie, you said that there was it was a motorcycle accident. Was that correct? From what you had heard?
Right, exactly. From what I understand, the guy was in a really bad motorcycle wreck. And this benefit show is to help out with his hospital bills and expenses that come along with such things. So.
And in addition to featuring Better Than Nothing, Luna Jamboree is also on that bill, and they're a really outstanding band if you've not had a chance to check them out. And that's going to be at the Ballroom at 9. Also going on tomorrow night at 9, Mood Ring Circus, which is a band that if you've not had the opportunity to check them out, they're really outstanding. Justin Larkin is a songwriting genius. I will just step right out on that limb and say that. And I'm not just saying for Springfield, I'm talking about for songwriting. songwriting, period. And his band is really outstanding. They're playing with Verbose at Moon City Pub on C Street, and that's at 9 p.m. And then there's an upcoming band that we've featured a little bit as far as sharing some things on the vault. We'll be talking with them in the next couple of months. But Midwest Mutts are their name, up-and-coming band from Springfield, Willard area. Super, super nice dudes. They're all, of course, I would consider them pretty young kids, wet behind the ears, green, whatever term you're going to throw out there, but super nice, and they have a real passion for making music. These, I'm going to call them kids because I love them. But these kids have been busking downtown for a number of months. I would say probably going on a couple of years, maybe at this point, been playing music downtown. They've really taken it inside at this point. They're booking shows. Really, it's a good band. I'm really excited to see kind of what they do in the upcoming months, years down the road. But they're playing at Magic Bean, Jacob's Java at 9 o'clock tomorrow as well. And they're also, if you are at the ballroom for that benefit for Travis Garrison, there is a rap show that's downstairs at the Outland at that same time as well. So you could kind of float between those two. I don't know a whole lot of details on that rap show because there weren't names that I recognized. Robbie, do you know anything about that?
I didn't even know there was a rap show downstairs tomorrow night.
It was something.
Neither did I.
It was something, and I didn't. I just have rap show at Outland 9 p.m. So my bad. It wasn't anything I recognized, but I thought it would be something worth walking downstairs and checking out probably. So, but Saturday is a huge day and night. It's festival season. It's festival season, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Springfield Coffee Fest is on Saturday. That goes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's at Farmers Park. There are going to be coffee house musicians featured all day, so it's chill acoustic music Saturday morning at Farmers Park. And then there's the Stomp the Blues Out of Homelessness Festival, which is a fundraiser. We're looking, since there's been a lot of funds cut, obviously the Missouri Hotel closed in Springfield, and there have been a lot of programs and funds cut for programs for the homeless community here in the local area. This is a fundraiser for that, a blues festival, and that's going on. That starts at 1. That's at 220 West Plainview Road, and that's featuring Papa Green Shoes, Marcus King, Victor Wainwright, and Sister Sparrow will all be playing with their bands there. So a fun day of blues music. And let's see, Hot Whiskey, which is Shotgun Brothers acoustic band, or their kind of acoustic iteration of that. They will be playing at Lindbergh's early show at 6:30. And another really chill show that's going to be relatively early for your evening on Saturday night would be Patrick Murithi is opening for Sean Monday at Q Enoteca on C Street, and that show's at 7:30. Both of those musicians are absolutely outstanding, just songwriters and composers of music, and that would be a really chill, mellow show. You're planning a date night before you went out and had it nice and rowdy. That 7:30 on C Street would be really nice with dinner along with it. But the show that I'm pumped about this week is on Saturday night. There is an Operation Ivy tribute at Lindbergh's at 9 o'clock. And Operation Ivy, again, that third wave ska primer with Rob Bailey. You've heard about Operation Ivy. With that band, as far as a tribute show, that band had one album, so there are only so many songs that they can do. So that's, if you're an Operation Ivy fan, perfect night to come out and hear some of those tunes. But 9 o'clock at Lindbergh's. But yeah, fun night of music. Sorry, I went a little bit over. Hope that wasn't too boring. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on, so I wanted to make sure that we touched on most of it. I didn't touch on all of it, but I did try to touch on most of it. Also, I do want to say, if you have an event with your band, or you know a band that you're following closely, they've got events going on. If you want those to be featured in this segment right here, if you want it added to my list, please hit us up on Facebook. We want to feature you. We want to know what you want. So please reach out to us. You can say, attention Gesso, hey, put this on the list, get you right on there. We'll talk about it leading up to it. If you want an interview beforehand, lead you right up into it. We got you. So that's something we want to hear from you. This is that segment. You want your events here. I'm pulling Facebook for these right now, but I want to hear from you. if you've got something going on, let me know. We want to tell people about it. We want to get you some free press. That's what we're all about here. Music still matters.
Absolutely. So that's a whole lot of shows coming up here pretty soon, guys. So definitely keep an eye out for that. This is the live show, of course, so you're not going to get some of the benefits of rewatching it, because when you rewatch it, I'll be able to pop up a lot of these so you guys can see them here on the screens here, maybe down here. Either way, I will put some links up to some of these bands and some things like that for you guys to check out. So, like I said, tomorrow night we have a benefit. That's the closest thing we have coming up. It's a benefit show for, like I said, Travis Garrison, who's in that motorcycle wreck. So check that out for sure. Like I said, they could definitely use your money, I'm sure, to help with the medical expenses and things. So make sure you do check that out. Now, one person I do kind of want to throw in the mix here and kind of give a plug to is our buddies over at Indie Mo. She did mention them earlier. They're the ones who are helping put on that benefit show on May 31st. That'll be a Tuesday night. We will be out there in full effect, helping everybody out. So look forward to that as well. You can check out Indie Mo Records, and that's on Facebook /Independent Missouri. So definitely check them out. Also, do not forget to come back and check some of our older reviews of albums and things like that we have done in the past. We are going to continue to do these album reviews, so make sure you check our YouTube page. You can check out YouTube. It's /The Vault Reviews. So make sure you check that out. We're also on Twitter at The Vault Music 1, and our Facebook, of course, where a lot of you probably know us from, is The Vault RVWS. So make sure you check us out on all these platforms, guys. And like Jessamine said, if you or your band or your friend's band, whatever the case, have an event coming up, make sure you message us on Facebook or post right to our Facebook wall here at The Vault. We definitely want to hear from you. So with that being said, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. We will be back with you next Thursday at 9 p.m. here Central Time, so make sure you tune in at The Vault, where music still matters. You guys have a good night.